Hey friends, it's Alan. Um, do you live in California? Do you like Gavin Newsom? And are you trans or do you support trans people? Well, I have bad news for you. It's very sad. Um, Bad news about Gavin Newsom. He is making some just heartbreaking and real damaging moves in regards to trans people and LGBTQ people in general, actually, which is crazy because he has been such a seemingly really strong ally for LGBTQ people. Like he he allowed for same-sex marriages in San Francisco back when it wasn't even legal in California yet. He did it as kind of like a activist type thing. Um, I even met him briefly when my former wife and I got married at San Francisco City Hall as soon as same-sex marriages were made legal in California years ago. And after this recent presidential election, when Trump was reelected, Newsom was all like, yeah, we're getting millions of dollars together to prepare for legal battles against the Trump administration. Um, and I was like, oh, thank God for Gavin Newsom. He's protecting us. And I mean, I hope that he still is on some things, but tragically, it's being real undermined, apparently. So I'm going to tell you about some details of this. And before I get into that, I want to strongly urge you to contact him and share your heartbreak and anger about what he's doing. You can contact him at gov.ca.gov/contact. That's gov, G-O-V, again, gov.ca.gov/contact, and I'll put the link in my video description. Okay, so I got news on these things from Aaron in the Morning, which, if you haven't already heard of it, this is a really excellent source of news, updates, and commentary about transgender related issues from Erin Reed. She's a trans woman who has a Substack, and you can subscribe and get news sent to you on a regular basis. So this is where I'm getting it. So, okay, so the first thing was from the beginning of March, where Gavin Newsom, did I did I say that he's the governor of California? I might have neglected to state that fact, but sorry. Okay, anyway. So he was on a podcast. He was a guest on a podcast with far right anti LGBTQ influencer Charlie Kirk. And Gavin Newsom expressed agreement with this person on some stuff about trans people, specifically anti trans stuff, obviously. So, oh wait, sorry, I got that wrong. This was on Gavin Newsom's own podcast. Sorry, I mixed that up, which is way worse. He launched his new podcast called "This Is Gavin Newsom." His first guest. What? Notorious anti-LGBTQ extremist Charlie Kirk. Like, what? The actual fuck? Like, the episode covered a wide range of grievances Kirk and other far-right activists have with Newsom, touching on topics from Black Lives Matter to COVID policies. However, the issue of transgender rights surfaced repeatedly. At one point, Newsom stated he was, quote, completely aligned with Kirk on transgender participation in sports. He also appeared to express agreement with restrictions on medical care for incarcerated transgender people and limits on gender-affirming healthcare for transgender youth. I was just like, what? And just another quick little detail or two. So Charlie Kirk referenced a transgender athlete in California stating, quote, "You as the governor should step out and say no, no." Newsom responded, quote, "Right, I think it's an issue of fairness. I completely agree with you on that. It's deeply unfair." End quote. Yeah, and then Newsom later said that he, quote, agreed with Charlie Kirk that it was not right transgender athletes should play. It was not right that transgender athletes should play, and that he was, quote unquote, completely aligned with Charlie Kirk on this issue, blaming a law put in place before he became governor. Quote, "It turns out in 2014, years before I was governor, there was a law established the legal principles that allow trans athletes in women's sports. The issue of fairness is completely legit. I completely align with you. We have to acknowledge it." God, fuck you, man. And a key point here is that transgender sports competition has a long history of ushering in other discrimination. Virtually every state that has passed a transgender sports ban went on to pass a mix of bathroom bans, transgender care bans, and birth certificate change bans, driver's license bans, and more. And there's more in the article about this. So the second thing, so the headline for this article from Aaron in the Morning is Gavin Newsom pressured behind the scenes to kill pro-LGBTQ bills, state lawmakers say. The bombshell revelation from Politico is part of a disturbing trend among some Democrats. So the article says that Newsom has allegedly been suppressing pro-LGBT legislation in California for months now. Suppressing legislation. And, quote, let's see, this is a quote from the Politico article. "Senior officials in Gavin Newsom's administration discouraged Democrats from introducing transgender rights legislation weeks before the governor publicly split with his party on trans athletes." End quote. However, the legislature's LGBTQ caucus pushed back, proposing a package of trans-friendly bills anyway. Thank God for them, right? And apparently this suppression follows similar directives. Wait, this. What is the this referring to? Oh, it's a little unclear. And here's a quote from Jorge Reyes Salinas, the communications director at California Equality. Quote, "Newsom has had a strong record of supporting LGBTQ plus rights. We just want to make sure that he is reaffirming his commitment to every single letter of that, including the transgender community. California needs leaders who will stand firm in protecting the rights and dignity of transgender youth and not waver under political pressure." Yeah, so the implications are like, so if he's being this way, then will local officials in California feel more entitled or pressured to give way about LGBTQ plus rights, which is super scary. And apparently Newsom has ambitions for the White House, and which sucks at this point. And as there's a quote from somebody in this article, quote, "It opens up space for lots of other Democratic presidential candidates to take the same position. It can lead to a potential shift in the national political landscape at the very time when the trans community is most vulnerable." This is insane. This is so enraging and so deeply disappointing and heartbreaking. I I just cannot even get over Newsom even having this anti-LGBTQ person on his website in the first episode. Like, it's like, what is even going on? Like, was Newsom like lying this whole time? Was he using LGBTQ people for political capital? Was he just using us to get votes and then is gonna just throw us under the bus when people's basic rights are at stake and therefore people's lives are at stake? God, I'm so mad and just so scared and so sad about this. I did contact him through his website. I think I wrote something and then I'm planning to call. I've had a busy couple days of work, busy week of work, but I'm planning on calling on the phone to comment on this bullshit, and I strongly encourage you guys to do so too, especially if you live in California. And I mean, even if you don't live in California, like, this affects people throughout the country because, like this article was saying, it's part of a trend and he has a lot of influence. So anyway, once again, the website for contacting him is gov.ca.gov/contact. So please consider it, and please share this with your friends and allies and encourage allies to do this too. Okay. Well, thanks for listening. I'm sorry to be the bearer of this horrible, horrible news, but I'm here, I'm trying to do my part. I'm trying to fight for us by spreading the word about this and other stuff, and let's just all stick together, spread the word about this, and take action. And, we're fighting together. Trans people have a super long history of surviving and fighting back. And, this is not over. It's not over for us. We're still here. We have been here in the past. We will continue to be here in the future. So I hope you're hanging in there. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.